Yes. Yes.
Talking about uncomfortable. We're building a new industry in the financial industry. Let me say that again. We're building a new industry in the financial industry. What does that really mean? That really means simply that we're going to do things differently, right? I told you guys that uncomfortable speech was, word was for me, right? Are we uncomfortable yet? Are we uncomfortable yet? Right? When we go to work, Pastor says, when we go to work, you spend about 8 hours, sometimes 10, sometimes 12. You come home, you go to sleep, maybe 6, maybe 7. Right? For those doctors and nurses, maybe 5. How much time we have for our kids? Why this is important? Questions. Do you have money problems? Do you have problems paying your bills? Do you have concern about your job or your career? Are you paid what you're worth? That was mentioned earlier. Are your children growing up faster and your parents getting older than you can take care of them? Do you feel financially trapped? When I heard these questions that was posed to me, I was wondering, well, yeah, all of that is true. So what? Do I go to church and pray and pray and pray and pray some more? Absolutely. And then what? And then what? We believe in financial education. This is why we're building a new industry, Wealth Financial Group. We want to express to people how important it is to take care of their money. Right? You work hard, yes? To do what? To pay the bills. Right? It's so uncomfortable when you walk into church and sometimes you can't even give that 10%. Come on. The church needs you. The church needs me. The church needs us. If we cannot provide for the church financially, then we have no church. Right? So of course my take is a little bit different. But come join us in the financial industry. Why? We're creating what we would normally call Starbucks, franchise. I own my own business. Tessa owns her own business. Odetta owns her own business. We're building a new industry as a franchisee in the financial industry. We're taking the model of Starbucks and we're creating a financial industry from it. Each and every one of us can be our own boss. Each and every one of us can be our own CEO. Each and every one of us can take care of ourselves and our family's financial business and then spin out to the community. We can. But we're too comfortable. Amen. It's not okay to turn around and have $0 in your bank account. It's not okay. It's not okay to see your house go foreclosure. It's not okay. It's not okay to complain to the pastor that you have another debt, so therefore you cannot help him with the building fund. It's not okay. It's definitely not okay when we have to go on Medicare, Medicaid. We came to this country, most of us are immigrants, yes? Yes. Why did we come to this country? To do small things? No. To be just a little bit uncomfortable? Or to take the dress off and put on the cut-up jeans, the ripped jeans? See, I don't even know the term, right? So that means I'm a little comfortable too. Right or wrong? Guys, it's not okay to take out $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 worth of student loans for your children, and then you have a second one and a third one that needs to go to school, so one of them go to work and go to school while the other one goes straight to school. Is that fair to them? Either one of them? It's not okay. Guys, we're building a new industry that we want people to understand how money works. We want you to reduce your debt and liability. We want you to increase your cash flow. We want you to embrace the change so that you can control your future. Your future is not in the hands of pastor, this church, the federal government. The future is in your hands. How are you going to take care of your future? All depends on you. You see, when I looked at this business, I actually thought this business was just about learning, getting the financial knowledge. But when I understand this business is talking about taking care of us, each other. You know who Walmart is, right? What do you get from Walmart when you go to the store?
Everything.
Somebody say everything. When you join World Financial Group, you have access to over 500 financial companies. When you join us as a franchisee, you have access to everything. You will be taught how to roll over your 401k, or your parents' 401k, or your neighbor's 401k, or your brother or your sister's 401k. You will be taught that is extremely important. Yes, I'm going to say it, Pastor. It's extremely important to put a life insurance on your pastor, the most important person in the church. I've gone to a couple of churches and maybe I've gone overboard a little bit. But that's the uncomfortability that we're talking about. And that's how I know that that word was for me. I don't know if it was for you, but I know it was for me. Guys, I'm going to end with this. If you are not taking care of your future, come join us, because our mission is simple: to build and protect wealth for families. We want to help people move from financial insecurity to financial independence. Our vision has spread throughout North America, as well as all provinces of Canada, and we are in different parts of China, Singapore. This is a huge company. The company is called Aegon. We are part of a Trans-America company. And we're World Financial Group. That's a multi-level marketing company that is doing business with MetLife, New York Life, Prudential Life. I mean, you name it, nationwide. It's on your side. It's on my side right now. Guys, we want to help at least, and this is why we're on a financial literacy campaign. You see the button, much like what you will see when Martin Luther King was marching. I'm gonna stop there. Guys, find something to believe in and put your life to fight for it. That includes your family, that includes your friends, that includes your church. Thank you, guys.
Come on, put your hands together. You can do better than that. Everything starts from small, and sometimes it has a delayed process. I know you heard the word today. I know you heard the message. I know you're taking stock of what it is. This is not something that I could tell you, hey, just get on it. I could tell you my story, and one of the beautiful things when I met with Etta and we spoke about this, one of the things that I told her that I wanted to, and I didn't meet his brother, but brother, we're going to talk, as you mentioned, Dr. Martin Luther King. But as we talked about it, one of the beautiful things was that I'd already read the book Tony Robbins, Money. Mm-hmm. And that is a must-read, I tell, to every single person. I can't tell you anybody else's story. I want to sit here, I want to tell you that God is good, I want to tell you that the kingdom of God is yours. I want to speak to your spirit, I want to tell you that, yes, the afterlife will be taken care of. But what I will tell you is that I worked and I had a great job. I did everything that I was supposed to do. I had saved. I put my savings together. I put 401ks together. I didn't know what it was. I remember I was so heavily invested in my 401k that when the Twin Towers came down, I was in some high stocks and I lost like about $2,800. After I was bragging on friends that I was making about $1,500 a year on these trades. I lost $2,800 just like that. And that was the first thing. Then when I left my job, it's the lie that the government tells you that, listen, what you think that when they lobby and they say to you, hey, listen, we're lowering taxes. We're lowering taxes. You think they're trying to lower your taxes on your income or whatever, or your grocery taxes? No. What they're saying to us, the lie that they've been propagating is saying that by the time you retire, you won't be at that tax bracket anymore, so you should save as much as it is. It has been steadily shown on the growth curve that this tax has never gone down. So what I didn't know, when I took my 401k and I got 100,000 and change, and I came home and I broke it, didn't know that I should have rolled it over into a Roth, because nobody told me these things. When I got the tax bill in one quick month, I left my job in October, got my 100 plus K. The government taxed me $50,000 I owed the IRS by January. One shot. And the reality came home to me. Why am I standing here? Because when my mother was sick from a terminal illness, and she was dying on her deathbed, because we heard these things and we didn't believe it, and I realized real quick, who's going to pay our rent? When I was back and forth at the Social Security office trying to get them to even give her some degree of subsidy, because it's called earned income, telling you that when you're at your healthiest, when you're at your best, and you could go to work, because we never see ourselves on those beds, those sick beds, you're earning. But what happens when you are ill and your parents are ill and you can't earn anymore? The job can't use you anymore. What happens then? Your credit cards is the first thing that starts to call. The credit card company says, we want ours. We don't care if you're sick. Yes, you have life insurance, but you're not praying for that at that time. And my mother had life insurance too. And real quick, you learn that you cannot fight cancer on one of the most dangerous diseases. You cannot fight cancer on your best friend's couch. The reality comes home now.
Amen.
And I'm running around and I'm trying to get her to get the Social Security, because she paid into Social Security. They said she came into this country too short. She didn't pay enough in the Social Security, so Social Security is not ready for her yet. She can't get that money yet. She's not eligible. And I started to have to now combine the household and think, okay, I gotta not only pay my rent, but I gotta pay my mother's rent too. Because who's going to do that? And now I'm remembering all the financial books that I read, everything that I was working for. The same very reason why I brought her to this country, because I filed for my mother when I came. If anybody know my story, my wife there came to this country illegally. She married to me, gave me my green card. I'm a U.S. citizen now. And then I filed for my mother. My mother now is here. And the reason why I filed for my parents was because I said the doctor system in the West Indies is not good, so I wanted them to have access to health care in America, which God knows if she didn't have that at the time she was working, she was on the Obamacare. Obama took good care of my mother. Amen, Mr. Trump. All those that did that, because if it wasn't for Obamacare, Deacon Shane, I couldn't pay those hospital bills. I didn't see one hospital bill, and thank God, because if I was fighting with the hospital bill and paying her rent and paying her back her credit cards and functioning my life, how would I make this thing out? I'm telling you reality. I'm not telling you some TV Jake story. I'm not telling you some. And then I had to go on my knees and ask God, like, God, why are you showing me these things? Because he says so that you have to come through, that when the people that I'm going to send you, when you tell them that this is real, it's so. I'm not telling you somebody's story. I'm telling you mine.
Amen.
I'm sitting here and I'm thanking God that God, oh gosh, thank God we only bought this building, but I didn't buy my own house yet. Because if I had a house and a mortgage, it would have been a lot worse for me, Dr. Martin. When I was going through my financial, I thought that leaving my job, making that uncomfortability move to the next level, maybe I was going to suffer a little bit, Brother Kevon, from some financial issue. Didn't know that I was going to lose my mother. The government was going to tax me, and it was going to mess up my credit. Am I talking true? I'm not here to tell you anything. I'm not telling you to sign up. I'm not telling you anything. I'm just telling you that the reality, it made me open some books, Deacon Shane. It made me open some books, Deacon Martin. It made me open some books, Evangelist, and understood that I really didn't understand money and how it worked. I was just playing around. But it drove me to start educating myself financially, to start listening to Susie Orman, to start to understand now, what is it that I don't know about money? What is it that the bank knows about money? And how is money earned? How does it keep? She didn't get into it. They talk about an index fund. They talk about how to bubble wrap your money, a different type of insurance that the wealthy has that you're not privy to, that we should have too. It tells you that, listen, if you have $1 million now, don't spend it. Go give it to an insurance company and buy what is called annuities. And you'll be paid for the rest of your life. As long as you're living, the insurance company will give you $1,500 a month, depending on how you want it to take out. It tells you don't go put your money with stock market and stock brokers. That's not what you want. You want a fiduciary, what's the name, that will take care of your money. If they're not eating from the kitchen, then why is it that I should buy from that restaurant if the chef is not eating the food that he's cooking? They're telling you how to invest, but ask them if they own any of the stocks that they told you to invest in. And the quickest one, and I'll end it here, you give him $1 million and you ask him back for your $1 million, Sister Ayana, and he gives you back $700,000 because he says $300,000 was fees. All types of fees. And if he says, but no, I'm going to put it in some high stocks for you. And you're going to earn, and the idea is to keep you invested. So you're saying, you're looking at your stock portfolio, and he says, oh, I got 1.5. And he says, but if you move it, you're only going to get back only the $1 million that you gave me because $500,000 is fees. So you have the wrong, so we hear about this broad, but the rich don't tell you that. They don't do that. What do you don't know about money? If you care about your parents and your children, here's my daughter. She graduated. She leave me with some student loans, but I'm taking care of it. Amen. I thank God for that. It's one of the best money ever spent. Stand with me. But today I hope that I